This nigga. All right. So what is good for the culture family? We about to go over what we seen happen yesterday in the markets and what we can expect happen today for this session. Is definitely time to get right. So let's take a look here at what we see happening on gold. We talked about gold yesterday, anticipating a steeper bullish move if the daily in fact closed bullish. You can see that previous daily had closed bullish, anticipating the daily to be bullish. It in fact was bullish there, and you can see we're just seeing that bullish continuation following that daily candle close. Now we are coming into an area of resistance, but we do have some lower time frame areas getting broken. As you can see, price was creating lower lows and lower highs. We had a high get created, we had a low, a higher high. This becomes the key low. We broke through that level, created a low, we broke through this high just barely, but then we broke through another low here, corrected, and now we've been on this bullish run and we've just taken out these highs. So what does that mean in terms of today's market and our structure? Well, currently on the 4-hour time frame, our 4-hour candle is pretty bullish here, right? We have an extremely bullish 4-hour candle. Still a lot of time left before this 4-hour candle closes. If we take a look here on our lower time frame, I mean, this is just not the cleanest structure in terms of price action. This is a sign of exhaustion. You know, price is kind of choppy here. I'm not saying that price isn't still bullish, because we are still in a bullish market structure, but this is not the clearest. Let's dial it down to the lower time frame here. If you can see on the 15-minute time frame, we are still creating higher highs and higher lows within this bearish or bullish market structure, excuse me, as price just created this high here. Not really too inclined on trading gold, as like I said, exhaustion at this area is a sign of a possible flip. So let me see. Let's do this here. There we go. So exhaustion in this area of interest is a potential sign of a flip. I will wait to see how price reacts within this area. It is Friday, like I said. So we want to be more patient, wait for the structure to kind of show us in terms of our actual, like, you know, direction. We have this bullish move, a lower high, or a higher low, excuse me, and then a steeper move up. We just took out some lower time frame levels, so anticipating a continued steep bullish move, but I would want to see a cleaner lower time frame structure here. You can see on the 5-minute time frame, the structure looks a little bit better here. If we get some volume, price to hold this lower time frame structure, we see a correction and continuation, then you can look to target these highs up here, where we have resistance at this 33.65 level. That's where I would look for price to go in terms of a daily target, and just where price is low-key pulling towards. Nothing yet has indicated that this is in a bearish market structure, so I would look for that continuation. What would invalidate this and that price could run a little bit steeper to the downside is if we have this 33.44 level get broken. If we do break below this low, anticipate a steeper move to the downside. That's what I would anticipate to see coming if we do in fact break that low. Not inclined to trading gold today. Let's take a look at the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ, we actually caught a banger yesterday on the NASDAQ in session. The NASDAQ was the only one on the 4-hour time frame that closed bearish yesterday. So you can see here, the 4-hour candle had closed bearish within this candle here. So we were anticipating a steeper move to the downside. If you dial it down to the lower time frame, we'll break down the exact trade that we took and what we were looking for. So if I go to my 15-minute time, or my 5-minute time frame here, you can see we just had this impulsive move to the downside. I told the team that I would be waiting for, let me see right here. So we had an impulsive move to the downside that broke through a previous key low. Why? Because price was creating a high, created a low, created a new high. This was the lowest point, created a new low, a higher high. So this now becomes the key low. It broke through this key low with volume. So we could have got this retest and continuation, but I told the team I wanted to wait for that added confirmation. I mean, with this volume here, Price, it was likely that price continued pushing it to the downside, but as we've seen with the US 30 and the S&P 500, they were in fact extremely bullish. So at that time, their 4-hour candle had closed bullish. We wanted to wait for that added bearish confirmation. When price broke through this low here, that's when we were looking for our entry. We wanted to see a scale in on this move initially. If we dial down to our 1-minute time frame, you can see exactly how we capitalized on this trade here. Price had broke through that key low that we were looking for our area of interest. We were wanting to scale in on the first 1-minute candle following that 5-minute candle close. So this candle here was the 5-minute candle close. The next 5-minute opened up, bullish candle, bullish candle. Then we got a bearish candle that just immediately pushed down. So we weren't able to get in at this retest up here. You can see it doesn't even have a top wick. So when price has no top wick, that means it just pushed down with volume. So where was we able to scale in at? We broke through this low. We seen this candle here, was almost missed it, and then we were able to set my stops above this high, and then we got ourselves a about 124 risk to reward. So something along the lines of here. This was the trade we caught yesterday in session. Absolutely beautiful trade. So what are we expecting for today? Well, today we're at a key area of interest here. Price is retesting this 22.6 like 8 what is this, 22.686 level. This is a key area that we want to, keep our eyes out for. As of right now, the lower time frame structure here on the 1 hour is in fact still bearish. So price created a low, we created a high, a lower low, a lower high. I would anticipate a lower low to form. All signs point to price breaking through these lows here. If we break through this low where we have this resistance here, expect a potential steep move to the downside. A high volume bearish move to the downside. That would be what I would anticipate if we in fact see this low get broken. So what would confirm this for us, and how would I look to scale in on this? If we break through this 22.682 low here, that confirms to me on the lower time frame that we are still likely to push. A better confirmation would be the break of our previous key low. So we had a low, lower high. We haven't broken through this low. So if we break through this low, this will become the key high. We will wait for a retest similar of what we was seeing yesterday. We'll wait for a retest and then anticipating that continuation move to the downside. If I was looking for targets, I would look for, some resist. We have resistance here. At what level is this? 22.604. I keep moving it to the side because my camera is in the way.
You can zoom in, bro. If you press the zoom plus button, it'll make it bigger.
Oh my goodness. Whole time I don't have this shit transition, so it was looking at trading view the entire time. Absolutely ridiculous. All right, so we would look for that continued sell move to the downside. And, nobody in the chat would have let me know. There's nobody there. All right, so yeah. So targets for today, that 22.604 levels. If we can get a break below that low, expect a steeper move to the downside. We start to fill some of this gap here. But as of right now, that's what I would wait for. If we, in fact, see... Let's go down here. Because our 4-hour time frame is currently bullish, right? And if we dial down to our 5-minute time frame, our 5-minute time frame has shifted. So price was creating lower lows and lower highs within this bearish market structure here. And then we pushed up and broke through this key high because it was the highest point that broke through this low. So technically, this is the key low. If this area holds and price closes as a bullish 4-hour candle, we could potentially see a steeper move up. In that case, I would look for a targeted high of this 22.808 level. That's where I would look for price to potentially go. Let's take a look here at what we see happening for US 30. US 30 likewise just in that nice bearish structure here. 4-hour time frame is in fact appearing to close bullish following this retest, but you can see we broke through this low here, a previous key low on the larger time frame structure. As price had created a high, we created a low, then we created this high. All of this becomes one structure because it is the start that broke for this high. So all of this is one essential move. So what we had happen here is that price is now in a bearish wave to the downside. If this area holds, we could see a potential flip and continuation. But if we break through this low here, a steeper move to the downside will be coming. And why would I anticipate a potential steeper move as well? Is because we had an impulsive move here, what appears to be a corrective structure, and then another impulsive leg is what I would anticipate is forming here. So I'm not saying that that's what is happening. We need the lower time frame to confirm with it, but as of right now, we are in this bearish wave. There's nothing that is indicating that this wave is now flipped from bearish to being bullish, and so I would anticipate, you know, a nice retest and continuation to the downside, likely to take out this low, flip the whole larger time frame structure, and then we see this steeper move to the downside, likely targeting this 44,205 low. So this is the area of interest that I'll be looking for price to go today, just continuing in that bearish direction and bearish trend. A great indication of this move here would be this break below this 44,314 levels, and then expect that steeper move to the downside. So let's take a look here finally at the S&P. Same thing. You can see the structure is absolutely beautiful here. You can see that same kind of bullish wave. We actually took out a high here for the S&P. So we took out an all-time high. You can see we just barely broke above that area, wicked above it, I guess you can say, and then price immediately rejected back to the downside during the Asian session following the daily candle close. We're now in, like I said, that corrective structure at a key area of interest here where price is retesting. A break below this low here, we would anticipate a steeper move to the downside. If we do in fact see this high get broken where price holds this area, the 4-hour candle closes bullish, we start to see this structural here, we could actually anticipate a steeper move to the upside. All signs right now to me point to a bearish market structure. That's where our volume is, and that's what we want. We want to identify where is our impulsive legs and where is our corrective legs. So everything that we see here is an impulsive leg. What we see in terms of, like I said, if we get this high get broken, I would still anticipate this to be a corrective leg because we hadn't broken through this key high, which started the push that broke through this low here. So we would expect a corrective structure and then another impulsive move to the downside. But as of right now, I think that if we hold this area and we can get a flip, especially if we break through this low, then we can look for these lower time frame targets to potentially be tested in this area here. So that is everything that I'm looking for today. We're going to be real slow and patient today. It is Friday, so you know, we're just going to make sure that we execute the same way that we do every single day and just be disciplined, abide by the 9-step strat, and we let everything else handle itself, for real. So I will see you guys. For those of you in the VIP, I'll see you in the VIP in what, 30 or 45 minutes here. We'll be on for that session. And for those of you who are not in the VIP, you can join the VIP, trade live with us every single day. We don't just break down these charts, we actually trade them live with our members. And like I said, we caught an absolute banger yesterday on Nas100 on this sell move to the downside, you know, following the volume, and we caught the back end of it. But we got a solid 1 to 4 risk to reward, made about $1,200 on there, and you know, members were able to eat on that as well. So that was always great. But I will catch you guys in the next live stream.